Hello.
Hi, again.
I'm hoping this lighting is okay. It's fine. It's a chandelier. It's pretty. I'm pretty. But I'm filming this at night because I'm wearing the same clothes because I'm filming this on the same day. Because why not? But oh my gosh, guys, we did it. I think I'm up to like 20 subscribers. I think that's the number. I know every single one of you personally, but it doesn't change the fact that I love you all very much. My heroes, my queens, my kings, my others that are royalty, non-gender specific royalty. This is me being an inclusive queen. My hair's funky. I don't like this. There's a window behind, there's a window that I left the blinds open on that I normally don't, but I'm using it as a mirror. And you know what? There's no helping this. I was sleeping. My sleep schedule? Awful. The worst. Alright, so the reason I'm making this video. I'm planning on making this video, and to be honest, I'm probably just gonna start making them whenever I feel like making them, but the goal is to do one sketch a week and one other video a week. Just to like play around, have a little fun, get saucy. May or may not be joined by some fun friends. I mean, if you know me and you feel like it, just like hit me up, text me. We can do a quarantine collab. Get it fresh and fruity. But yes, I just want content. I feel like making content. So what I'm gonna do right here, right now, is I'm going to tell you the magical story of why I should not be allowed to drive cars. It's awful. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not a bad driver. I'm not. Overall, I'm pretty okay. But like, my luck is bad. So I have managed to pop not one, not two, but 4 tires on cars. And honestly, if I think about it, they were a different tire each time, which is lovely. So I've basically taken an entire car out, which is honestly, I think it's impressive. I don't know about you, but you know, we're doing our best here, ladies. Okay, we're trying. But anyways, the first tire I popped was the worst. It was so bad. For some reason, I had a friend of mine had recommended me to this community theater group. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, great. But what that meant was there's a spider. And I fucking hate spiders. Oh my God. Right, sorry, back on topic. So I was in this community theater group, but that meant that I was up at 6 in the morning, at school, started by 7:30, did school until like 2:30, had in-school theater until like 5:30, and then drove like anywhere from like 20-30 minutes to get to my other rehearsal that went till like 8. So your girl was a poopied. She was not having it. She was not doing well. This particular day, I was only like a month or 2 into really driving. So I was driving down the road and there was this I'm gonna try not to curse. There was this bright yellow car that came up really close to my left side. Don't know my rights and lefts. That's a fun discovery. But it was coming really close to my left side and I was driving. And of course, me being a genius, I was going like 55 down Route 4, under the speed limit, like a good citizen, but they got real too close to me. And I went, uh-oh. So I went, yeet. I ended up swerving real bad. So I was skr, 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 left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Ended up turning the car. Luckily I didn't flip. I should have flipped, is what should have happened, but I didn't. So I ended up turning down this hill, and there was this concrete church sign, and right next to it, honestly only like a couple feet wider than the width of my car, and then there was a whole telephone pole. Like full on Fast and the Furious. I was so lucky. I slid right between the two. It was so close. It should have been so bad, but I slid right between them and I crashed into this church's bushes. Oh, I was passing a church at the time and they had these hedges and my car went, yeah, that was fun. So I crashed right into the bushes. The lady behind me when I was driving was a registered nurse and was like pulled over and was like, I'm gonna help you. So luckily I didn't have to have the ambulance come. And no one was hurt, but the ambulance didn't have to get called. But what happened was, the way the car was, I couldn't just like back out and go around. I had to go the rest of the way through the bushes. So there was a good like 5-minute section where it was just me like sitting there. Like there were people around and they were like, it's fine, whatever, like we'll figure this out later. You just have to get your car out of here. So I had to willfully push my pedal down and just destroy these bushes. And it was, honestly, I destroyed God's house. And really, I think that's kind of sickening. I mean, I got the church's permission to bust some stuff up, and I took it. The car should have been totaled, but luckily I had it was just like, the car got real scratched. It got real scratched, but it also popped a tire. So I couldn't drive it home and had to get towed. It was this whole thing, but that's not exciting. It's boring and honestly really annoying. But anyways, that's the first tire I popped. The second one I popped, which was lovely. It was, so the reason I've popped so many tires is because the rims on the car I had, it was my dad's old car, so old, as old as me, but the rims were they were broken. So if the car sat still for more than like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, whatever it was, they would deflate. So every morning before school or before I ever used the car, I had to refill every single tire in that car with air, which was annoying. But you know, you do what you gotta do. I was refilling the stuff, refilled the tires. Apparently, one day before work, I forgot. And if you don't know, if you drive with flat tires, like the rims start like tearing up at the rubber, and like, I thought I did it. Honestly, I might have done it. I stayed super late at work. Maybe they just deflated on their own. We'll never know. I need to stop messing with my hair. It's fragile. Of course, this day was the day that my friends had convinced me to go out to see a movie with them after work. We were all lifeguards, whatever, it's not important to the story. But, so we're all lifeguards, and my friend of mine was like, couldn't drive, and she was like, hey, can I get a ride? And I was like, yes, of course, my queen, I love you, you're great, I'll drive you, don't worry. So we were driving, and like it was a gravel road, so it was always a little bumpy, but it was like extra bumpy on one side, and I was like, oh, I don't know what this is. It's probably nothing, but like, I'll wait. And the way it worked is the pool I worked at was in a park. So there was this, and the pool closed right when the park closed. So I had to stay after to like clean up, do closing duties before we could leave, which meant the park's gate would be closed by the time we were able to leave. So I drove up to the gate, had to stop because we had to wait for our manager to unlock the gate so we could drive out. So I get out of my car, I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna check and make sure nothing's wrong. It's probably fine, but whatever. So I get out of the car, look at the front tire, it's fine. Look at the other tire, look at the right tire, it's fine. And then I turn around and there is a hole about this big in my tire. And I have about 4 miles to get home. And surprise, a twist, my parents were in like some vineyard somewhere on vacation, so they were in another state. They would be no help to me. I was like 16, 17 at the time, and I wasn't gonna tell them. And I, of course, had this girl in my car, and I said I'd give her a ride, so I concocted a master plan. So me and this girl, she said, hey, do you want me to get another ride? Because I don't have to. And I said no. I insisted that she stay in my car. And we got in. And for 4 miles, all the way back home, I was going about 10 miles an hour and just like creeping along as there was this kerchunk, 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 as the back wheel got worse and worse and worse. And so, so we finally got to my house, luckily. The entire time I was thinking about like, you know how in like video games when a tire pops and the rubber rips off and it goes and the rim's just like scorching and then the sparks are everywhere? That's what I thought was about to happen the entire ride home. And I was like, I'm losing it. But luckily, we made it back. Got out. Literally, there was so little rubber. There was this much. A strand that thin connecting a ring of rubber around the rim to that tire. And I said, oh no, what do I do? And of course, I still had this girl in my car, and of course I was still going to the movies because that's who I am. Awful. So I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? So I looked over, and because my parents were gone, their cars were there. And I was not allowed to use my parents' car. My car was old, dingy. If it got totaled, no one would care. I was specifically told I could not use my parents' cars without their permission. And yet, I took one for the team. I went into my house. I didn't tell the girl this. Of course not. I didn't tell her. But I did, however, go steal my mother's car keys and take her car out. That's the only thing even close to illegal I've ever done. I'm a good girl. Ew. Anyways, so yeah, that happened. It ended up being great. We went to Walmart, bought some hair dye, dyed our hair pink, and then we went to see Annabelle, which was the worst thing I've ever seen. I hate horror movies. I don't watch horror movies. My friends made me watch it. It was awful. We'll talk about that later. It was bad. Third tire I popped wasn't very interesting. It was just on the way to work. Again, forgot to fill up a tire because all of the tires just go flat after a while. I had to leave. The most exciting thing was I had to leave the car on the side of the road all day. And I literally had to walk like half a mile to work because I'm gonna be real, I was not the best lifeguard, not the best employee. So if I did miss, I would have been in a lot of trouble. So I did walk. And then I just had to figure out how to pick up my car later. But it worked out. It was fine. It was fine. Now the fourth time, I was not in the driver's seat. But I do feel like my energy caused this tire pop. Because I was in New York, for my NYU audition. Did get in. Flex. Didn't go. Cause it's so expensive. But whatever. We were leaving. And we were supposed to go home. Had school the next day. We're like, we're gonna drive all day, all night, and get there. So we're about to go through, I think, the Lincoln Tunnel. We're driving in. And then there's this grate on the ground. And the car before us just goes over it, and they're fine. And then we go over it. Tire pops immediately. So our tire is popped in this like one lane right at the beginning of the tunnel. So we had to drive all the way through the Lincoln Tunnel with a popped tire. Because we can't pull over in the middle of the tunnel. There was no space. There was no room. So we were clomping along through this tunnel with a flat tire all the way through. And then when we get to the other side, we pull over and my mom's like freaking out. She's crying. I'm like, can I do this? Okay. I know how to change a tire because I popped so many. I'm gonna go grab the spare tire, change it. We're fine. We're on our way. I go to the back, open it up. Uh-oh, no spare tire. And we go, oh great. Luckily, we have AAA. So we call AAA, they're like, okay, we'll send somebody. Not once, not twice, but 3 times they sent the tow truck to the wrong place. Meaning, we were on the road right outside of the Lincoln Tunnel for 6 hours. 6 hours. And then, once the tow truck guy did get there, they were like, we're gonna have to take you to New Jersey because it's the only place where we can drop this off. And we were like, I guess I'm not going to school tomorrow, is the tea. And so we go. I don't think the guy really knew what he was doing because for the first section of the trip, he was like, yeah, sure, just stay in the car while I'm towing it. And we were like, are you sure? That doesn't... And he was like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. So we were at an angle, riding. Cause it was the front tire that popped, but so we were like sitting in this car as we're getting towed along and losing our minds. And then finally we ended up getting dropped off. We probably went through the tunnel at 12, did not get to the hotel we ended up spending the night at until 10 o'clock at night. It was truly tragic. But I also didn't have to go to school the next day, so win. But yes, again, that's why I shouldn't be allowed to drive cars. Because I just have this energy that attracts popped tires. I honestly think if I had a superpower, it would probably be popping tires. Like that would be a great power to have if you were in like Mad Max Fury Road, like just like yeet me into the enemy's car and they go and they're like ah, and then I go this rocking chair is not stable. But yes, that is the tea. This video is kind of boring, but you know, wanted to do a story time, wanted to mix it up, do something, do a little something. Maybe I'll try and play with the editing, maybe I won't. Also, I just wanted to say, I don't know what's wrong with my last video. I don't know if it's how I transferred it, if it's whether I used the front camera, but like that like choppiness where it's like, yeah, that wasn't an effect. I was like, it was fine because for like the sketch part, it like kind of made it look like artsy fartsy, like perfume commercial, like, and honestly I didn't hate it, so I didn't really try that hard to fix it, but that's not how it's all gonna be. I'm gonna be trying some saucy fun new ways to fix my editing. I'm really hoping my camera had enough to film this entire video, because if not, I'm gonna scream. But yes, like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends, because I'm gonna be real, if I don't fucking blow up, I'm suing you. You're getting sued. But yes, I'm also probably gonna do like, I don't know, like a 25 subscriber special just because it's so popular and so famous. But also, I know each and every single one of you personally, on a personal level. So like, hi, text me. Okay, bye.